So, would you believe that Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was not Sonic's first time outside of his
native home consoles?
What?
Oh.
This was actually a first Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure for the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Okay.
Anybody here remember the Neo Geo? Anyone?
I seem to hear of it, but I haven't, like, played it or know what other games they got for it.
Well, unfortunately, the Neo Geo Pocket itself is a more of an obscure console. I mean, people are more so familiar with, like, his big brother, the Neo Geo, which was basically an arcade unit as a console, which explains how fucking expensive it was. But yeah, the Neo Geo Pocket Adventure was basically their attempt to get into the portable scene, and one of the games that you can find on there, of all things, is Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, Sonic Pocket Adventure is, well... Okay, here's the funny thing about it. This was actually the very first time the a Sonic game was made by Dimps.
Dimps?
For those that aren't unfamiliar with Dimps, they made the Sonic Advance games, the Sonic Rush stuff, and basically any other game where the main draw or infamy behind it is spikes, bottomless pits, and obnoxious enemy placement aplenty.
Huh.
Now, granted, this was thankfully, like, before they got that bad. Like, this was when Yuji Naka was still supervising the projects and, well, made sure that everything was as tight as it possibly could be. And, well, it's appreciated, because Pocket Adventure here, like, even though it's essentially just Sonic 2 with Sonic 3 music attached to it, it's a pretty damn good attempt.
Okay.
Alright.
What's kind of interesting is that, like, in a way, it kind of acts as somewhat of a bridge between the classic games and the adventure games, because if you look closely, for one thing, they add little bits of green into Sonic's eyes, you know, kind of like he has green eyes. And Eggman himself, he starts off with his classic attire like he does in the games, but by the end of the game, he actually switches to his adventure outfit.
Which is funny, considering this game literally came out like a year after Sonic Adventure. At least as far as I know. And, of course, another thing they brought back from Sonic 2 are the special stages.
Oh, jeez.
Is this one any better than the original, or not really?
The most I could say about them is that some people say these are easily some of the hardest half-pipes you'll ever find in the Sonic games.
I think she means, like, is this any better or worse than Sonic 2's version?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, they're decent, they're fine enough as they are, it's just that, well, again, it has more of an obnoxious difficulty spike, like, the further you go on. Like, this first one's not too bad, but later ones can get pretty bad. And, another thing is that in order to actually reach the special stages themselves, you actually just can't... every special stage is linked to a particular zone, not just, well, you can just go to any one willy-nilly. You actually have to be in, like, say for, this one, for example, you literally have to be in Neo South Island, and, oh yeah, and that flower there is actually a continue.
Okay.
In a game which has a save feature, so that's kind of unnecessary.
Oh well.
Oh well.
You know, this was back when some arcade trends were still popping up every now and again.
Well, they still kind of are to an extent.
Just not as often.
They've gotten better about it. I mean, hell, it only took till Mario Odyssey for them to get rid of the live system. I mean, Sonic still has lives, but, yeah, honestly, I don't really have any continuation onto that. But, yeah, like, again, Sonic 2 on special stages, you pretty much know what they are. You just grab a whole bunch of rings, however many they tell you to, and once you're at the end, you grab yourself a good old Chaos Emerald.
That's about the size of your devil damn body.
That doesn't look like an emerald at all.
Looks like a gusher.
No, it looks more like a sapphire, and I mean an actual sapphire, not a blue-colored emerald, which makes no sense to me.
Being fair, that's also one of the things that they took over from the Genesis games, is the way that they used to be shaped.
In a matter of speaking, yes. Honestly though, they sort of flip-flop with that, though, because, well, in the special stages they look like they do in the Genesis games, but, like, in the actual gameplay or cutscenes or whatever, like, they look about as cut as they do nowadays. It's weird, I know, but again, this is, as Hype mentioned, this is more of a transitional phase more than anything. We gotta move away from the classics
until we go right back to them.
Yeah, where they basically be the classics are what will save us. wish they didn't follow that mentality with Sonic Forces.
Well, I'm enjoying the little rendition I'm hearing of a classic song in the background right now.
Yeah, me too.
Whoop.
Well,
Oh,
he's
hello
got
there.
a hammer!
It's Hammerbot.
Can you say it's hammer time?
So which
It's
people
hammer
worked?
time? I can't do it in my
So
condition.
which people worked on this again? I'm so sorry.
It's Dimps.
Yeah, Dimps.
Okay. Almost.
Again, the very same people
There.
that did the advanced stuff, Rush, and the
the
occasional
3DS version of Generations.
and Lost World.
Okay. And you're free.
Be free, my birds.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a zone.
Interesting zone.
And we're gonna move on to our next one, Secret Plant, also known as Totally Not Chemical Plant.
Yeah.
Of course.
This is very. The road there is a very clear indicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, like again, for Sonic Pocket Adventure, they took all the landscapes from Sonic. Well, some of the landscapes from Sonic 2. Like, I know we had Green Hill / Emerald Hill earlier. We have Chemical Plant here. Our next stage is actually going to be Casino Night, and then afterwards we get Aquatic Ruins, and then we just go right over to Sky Chase and then Death Egg.
Oh, that's quick.
Yeah, this game's really not that long at all. Like, you could literally beat it in an afternoon if you wanted to.
One other thing I do want to spoil, though, because I know we're not going to see it anytime soon. Also borrowing from 3 and Knuckles, Knuckles himself actually appears as a boss, and again, just like in 3 and Knuckles, he gets duped into fighting Sonic.
Of course.
Some habits die hard.
Yep.
Not only that, Tails is in the game as well, but you only see him in the Sky Chase area, and he's also player 2 in this game's multiplayer mode. And to make sure he doesn't have an unfair advantage compared to Sonic, he can't fly.
Ah,
Oh no, you died!
How exactly does multiplayer
oh.
work with the Neo Geo Pocket?
I think it involved a linking cable, which just you attach the to two consoles and play it that way.
Gotcha.
Just like with a Game Boy. But that aside, actually, if I can bring up something a wee bit more illegitimate, a while back, are you guys familiar with the Sonic hacking contest?
I know of it.
I don't think I heard about this. Like, care to tell us about it?
All right, so basically, it's a little something that goes on every year where hackers and modders of all kinds get to participate and show off their latest work with the fan gaming community. And not too long ago, I want to say either this last year or the year before, some very brave individual actually made a mod of Sonic Pocket Adventure where you not only got to play as Sonic, but you also got to play as Tails and Knuckles, and they even had their own custom sprites.
Oh, okay. And they're having another one this year?
They usually have one every year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
It does
cool.
make me wonder what they'll do next, because I remember last year had a few decent ones, like, again, this one, and, well, again, I don't remember if this was from last year's or the year before, but, there's that, and there was also, I forget the dude's name, John Burton, the guy that hosts the Game Hunt YouTube channel, former employee, or, I don't know if he's former employee or still works at
Oh, are you talking about, like, the director's cut of 3D Blast?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he made a director's cut of 3D Blast, which basically improves on a lot of the faults of the original Sonic 3D Blasts, and, I mean, it just goes to show how far this competition can reach.
Well, I wouldn't say it fixed, like, all the faults. It fixed, from what I can understand, it fixed only, like, certain things. Like, you still need flickies to advance. I don't think Sonic controls that much differently than he did originally.
He does control less slippery than he did in the original. I mean, it's a little more obvious if you put the two and two together, but like, yeah, I mean, barring the game's natural fundamentals, it does run a lot better.
That's good.
And again, for those of you that want to check out some of this guy's other works, watch him on Game Hut.
Very interesting trivias he'll give out. In fact, I think...
I think he's even considering doing a director's cut of his Toy Story game.
Oh, okay.
That'll be interesting. I was actually half expecting them to do one of Mickey Mania instead.
That would have been cool. I mean, granted, I can't think of too much they need to fix with that game, but outside of the wonky hit detection. But
yeah, I'd say the hit detection is probably the biggest thing they need to fix.
Oh.
The only thing I would really, I would love more than anything is like if they ever got to finish Mickey Mania 2, but we all know that's not going to happen.
You know what? That could be something they can do for that director's cut. Maybe take the elements from that scrapped level and make it a bonus level in Mickey Mania.
That could work.
Yeah, that could work. That's a good idea.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry we didn't talk much about Pocket Adventure after like a halfway point, but that's what you saw like with the first half was basically it's what you come to expect with classic Sonic games, and like if you like those kinds of stuff, this isn't a bad one to check out. It's pretty much not too unlike say the Mega Man Extreme games for the Mega Man X series on Game Boy Color. But on that note, that was Pocket Adventure for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I'm JamesmanXtreme.
I'm Lucky Jack 20.
I'm Jordan the Cat 11.
Foggy.
Yes.
That'll do.
See you all for Team Sonic Racing.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I get to drive a Foggy in that game.